Bob Moffat, Chief Financial Officer here at Greater Bank. Tell us firstly about your role.
My role's CFO, Chief Financial Officer of Greater Bank. The role entails basically chief bean counter. So how the accounting staff work, how our treasury function works, where we deploy the resources of the bank.
Tell us about some of the financial issues facing our customers and the wider community through this COVID-19 crisis.
Okay, and first and foremost, I suppose it's a loss of income. Okay, people find themselves in hardship for the first time with debt obligations, with what does it mean for my property values, what does it mean for my day-to-day expenses, can I feed the kids? And so they're important considerations as part of the economic impacts that we're going to face.
Not just Greater Bank, but I suppose the financial industry as a whole. How is the industry going to support the economy moving through this as well?
Coming back to the way that APRA, the government regulators, have actually supported the economy, they've relaxed certain rules that we need to comply with. So they saw and have planned out scenarios such as a pandemic, such as COVID, and said, what's the best way to ensure that the financial sector is still strong enough to continue to support the community over time? And that's about getting JobKeeper type payments into the hands of affected people. It's about relaxing repayment holiday terms for an extended period. And we're seeing that now in terms of across the industry, 5 to 10% of borrowers have applied for and taken advantage of these relaxed rules.
Bob, Greater Bank is a mutual customer-owned bank, and as such, it usually takes a very conservative or a more conservative approach to lending. How does that now position or support or help the organisation moving forward as we navigate this crisis?
Greater Bank is a very conservative institution. The way that we actually assess customers for borrowing, we're guilty of being perhaps a little harsher than some loose cannons that are out in the industry. But that's set us up quite well now. So across our portfolio, we've probably got much higher than industry average customers ahead on their mortgages. So they've actually continued to pay at higher levels, even though interest rates have been at record low levels, because people are repairing their balance sheets. They're getting ahead of the game. And we're not seeing any real frivolous behaviour. People aren't going out there and borrowing millions to actually buy that, expensive car or whatever it might be. We serve a conservative community. And so that conservative nature has established an extremely strong capital base for the organisation. We don't have to pay dividends. We're not part of this clique of the big banks where bonuses are all important to an organisation. We've got the ability to retain those profits to reinvest into the community.
We've seen some customers who were hit very early through this crisis, but I suppose as this goes on now, there will be more customers or other customers who will experience, for those who are having some financial duress at the moment, customers of Greater Bank, what would be your message to them?
Look into all of the different government programs that are available to you. In terms of what Greater Bank can do, if you're exposed to debt within our institution, we have significant hardship processes which, due to government actions, have been relaxed substantially over the last 6 months to enable us to support the community. So those programs are still open, they're still available in terms of repayment holidays or discussion around your obligations. So there's a lot of discussions we can have with customers if they find themselves in that position.
One of the initiatives that the federal government has put in place is people to be able to access this superannuation. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Superannuation is always a difficult topic to discuss. It's a great program for planning for your retirement, which might seem decades away. But what you save today is important for the future. Compounding interest and keeping your money safe for an extended period of time will only build that balance over time. And withdrawing balances now, although it's been given as an option by the government, can have a detrimental effect in that long-term balance. So as long as you have a plan and understand what impact withdrawing those funds does to your fund in the future, it might be a lifesaver for people.
You mentioned about JobKeeper, and I suppose one of the anomalies with that, there's some people who are generally lower income have got a bit of a financial boost out of this, a bit more extra cash in the bank. What should they be doing with this?
I think the crisis has presented them with a bit of an opportunity here to, repair their finances, pay down expensive debt that they've got on their books, be it credit card debt or other debt, and also look at how they can actually use this potential upside to actually help them. So don't look at it as a windfall. Don't think that it's actually there just to be spent, because there are still risks on the other side of this crisis. We don't know how long these programs will be last and what the economy on the other side looks like. Budgeting in the right way for the times and putting some money away for safety is always, there's never a wrong answer.
Bob, great insights. Thanks very much. I know the customers and the community will appreciate it. Thanks for your time.
No problem at all.